Alright, Shalom Hebrews. This is a message from the Israelite Brotherhood. Message from the Israelite Brotherhood. Alright, check this out, Hebrews. In order for the nations, the other nations, to really kind of like rule and have the little power that they have, it all started from having to keep the Hebrews broke down in sin, man, to where we couldn't lead in Yah worship. You know, that all the nations' power come from the Israelites being subdued and tricked out of heritage and just messed up, you know, and that's how the other nations rule. That's how the nations rule. You know, they rule long as we ain't in heritage doing Yah worship. And there's a lot of tricks that was played on us in the past that, you know, kind of got the way things are today. You know, things today wouldn't be the way that they are if they wouldn't have tricked us Israelites in the past. And then I want to show you, Israelites, man, a little something that this is what, you know, man, our enemies are slick. Man, our enemies are real slick, you know, and I want to show what kind of like the fighting, the so-called, what they call black on black fighting, but it's Israelite on Israelite fighting and killing and so forth, and how that we could, you know, pinpoint kind of like where, man, it'll get started. And it got started in the promised land. You know, slavery, you know, we was killing each other and dogging each other out before slavery. Is one of the reasons we got chased out the promised land in the book of Jeremiah during the Babylonian wars, you know, because we was more destructive to ourselves than our enemy were to us. And we got like that from being on Egyptian religion in the Amorite culture like we are now today. You know, the system that we in now today is a combination of the Babylonian system and Egyptian system, you know, and man, they got Egyptian monuments everywhere. You know, I even live, you know, where they got Egyptian monuments. You know, that'd be Memphis. All right, Israelites, we can kind of like pinpoint where, man, the hatred, the Israelite on Israelite hatred started. You know, man, if you read the Tanakh, you know, you can kind of like follow the progress, man, of our creation. You know, our history is documented well. You know, so, you know, we can, you know, pinpoint little instances, you know, and little things in our past that got us, you know, the way that we are today. And then what I want to show is, you know, that's like, you know, yeah, we had fighting, you know, it was Israelite on Israelite fighting when we was in Egypt, and Prophet Moses had to break some Israelites up from feuding with each other, you know, and you know, and he did that. There was some leaders, you know what I'm saying, to man to step in and stop the peoples, you know, from, you know, fighting and harming each other. Even when we was in captivity, that we had strong leaders that, you know, that could possibly intervene in a conflict, you know, and you know, we left Egypt, and we know under Prophet Moses' leadership and Prophet Joshua that, you know what I'm saying, we didn't have a whole lot of in-house fighting with tribes just fighting against each other. You know, the only time we had to kind of like hurt each other is when a group of Israelites fell off and maybe, you know, disrespected Almighty Yah with, you know, false beliefs, or not following the instructions that he gave us. You know, and you know, that would cause a little bloodshed, but we kept everything in order, and all those feuds is kind of justified in a Tanakh. But I want to show that, you know, from Joshua, you know, Saul, from Joshua all the way to King Saul, and King David, that we kind of like had it under control, and it just, you know, we had some Israelite battles, you know, but it was mostly, you know, things that we kept in perspective, and then, you know, we was blessed by Prophet Moses that if an Israelite should, you know, harm another Israelite by accident, and then this is what thru's the war is that, man, we had Israelites that, you know, didn't purposely didn't purposely harm didn't purposely harm the other Israelites in how they had a place to run to, you know, a place of refuge. And then I could show that, you know, that the place of refuge, man, was taken away. You know, was taken away by the king by the king of Assyria. You know what I'm saying? That he was real slick when he took the tribe of Gad, Manasseh, and Ephraim. You know, our furs maybe, you know, got real heated after those tribes was taken away in 722 BC, because you can kind of like follow it on down. You know, yeah, man, we had some terrible bloodsheds in the promised land, but you know, man, it was a system in place that if you accidentally killed someone, that you would have a refuge and a place to run to until everything gets sorted out. Just imagine not having that no more, and then, you know, no place where you accidentally then killed somebody. You know, your horse might have killed them, or you might have had a axe head come off the axe and then killed them. There's just all kind of ways that you can, you know, get hurt, you know, back in the days. And then just imagine, you know, you can run to this place, and, you know, these tribes, and sit there, man, until you get sorted out, you know, and that the other Israelites couldn't come get you and couldn't do nothing to you. All right, you know, that'll keep down a whole lot of bloodshed. That'll keep down a whole lot of bloodshed. Is that if something was to happen and then the people couldn't come get revenge unjustly, you know, and just imagine if those places wasn't there that the people could run to for safety, and if they was taken away, and that, you know, that would start the bloodshed real bad, man, to where it couldn't be controlled. You know, that we had a control element, you know what I'm saying, there, and that if that control element was taken away, and that, man, we'll be fooling each other, man, from now on. And I can kind of show that, you know, that was the plan, man, of our enemies also, you know. And then, you know, when they took the tribe of Reuben, Gad, and Manasseh, the fighters, out the promised land, you know, even though they was protecting Egyptian men religion, but just removing those tribes. And that was another reason for getting them on Egyptian religion, is that it'll subvert Almighty Yah's law. You know, man, if you can keep bloodshed, man, from happening, then you can keep down a whole lot of sin also. And man, I want to show you Israelites this. Look, all right, look, you see right here. Man, this would be, let me go to Deuteronomy in this right here. In this Tanakh. Alright. Alright. Then Moses set aside 3 cities on the east side of the Jordan, to which a manslayer could escape, with one who unwittingly slew a fellow man without having been hostile to him in the past. He could flee to one of these cities and live. Bazar in the wilderness, in the tableland belonging to the Reubenites, Ramoth in Gilead belonging to the Gadites, and Galon and Bashan belonging to the Manassites. Now, let's look at these tribes right here, because it's very important that that they would be in place. And our downfall basically came from them being removed, because those was the fighters, those was the experienced fighters. But, you know, later on, man, they'll start doing the Egyptian religion. You know, they was Yah worshippers from the beginning, but then, you know, in the end, when Jeroboam come out of Egypt, maybe around about 931 BC, after the death of Solomon, then they would, you know, be on the Egyptian religion, and they would protect the Egyptian religion, the northern kingdom. So, you know, they had to be removed, but it was slick that they was removed, because that would start a whole lot of feud if it's no refuge place for the manslayer to run to. And then how that not having a place to run to, man, gonna keep vengeance going. You know, somebody get you because you killed him by accident, man, your family out, man, to get them. And then it'll just go endlessly. So we had mechanisms there to stop the violence, you know, especially the unjust violence. You know, if it was somebody doing something, I mean, the 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 things that happen, you know, by accident, in the unjust violence, that we had a system to get them, you know. All right, let's go to that'll be Second Chronicles. No, First Chronicles. Go to First Chronicles 5. I think. Let's see. Yeah, see, to remove them tribes, and they was removed during during the Syrian troubles. Them was the first ones. Man, the Syrians came and got was was the tribe of Reuben, Gad, and Manasseh, and they was the experienced fighters out of all the tribes. That could nobody get down like them. So that's why come it's gonna be kind of cool that you can run there, cause couldn't none of the other tribes whoop them. You see what I'm saying? So you'll be safe. All right. All right. This is the Reubenites, the Gadites, and the half tribe of Manasseh had warriors who carried shield and sword, drew the bow, and were experienced at war. 44,760 ready for the service. You know, ready for the service. Now, it's kind of smart to run there, because ain't nobody gonna be able to deal with them. None of the tribes could deal with them. But when they got removed, then, you know, we didn't have the defense of our land like we had when they was around. Look, and this what happened. Look, so the Elohim of Israel aroused the spirit of King Paul of Assyria, the spirit of King Telachaplasma of Assyria, and he carried them away, namely the Reubenites, the Gadites, and the half tribe of Manasseh, and brought them unto Hala harbor, and Hara, and to the river goes on to this day. Now, you see them being gone and snatched up is not a good thing. It's not a good thing, because they was there to stop the vengeance. You know what I'm saying? To stop the Israelites, man, from fighting and wanting to get revenge, and then to have them removed. Ah, man, that through the hatred. You know what I'm saying? That through the hatred, and the Assyrians, man, they got destroyed. Man, the Assyrians got destroyed because they got the big head. You know, Almighty Yah used them for a weapon, man, against us, and then they turned around and thought that they was doing something slick themselves. You know what I'm saying? But man, if you go to Isaiah 10, chapter 10, and then you get down to, let me see, verse 5, let's see what it says. O Assyria, the rod of mine anger, and the staff in their hand is mine indignation. I will send him against a hypocritical nation, and against the people of my wrath will I give him a charge to take the spoil, and to take prey, and to tread them down like the mirror of the streets. You know, that's what Almighty Yah said. That's because the tribe of Reuben, Gad, and Manasseh gonna be protecting that Egyptian religion that Jeroboam brung out. You see, the whole northern kingdom, 10 tribes, was messed up on Egyptian religion. All right, putting us on Egyptian religion and then removing the safe place meant to run to keep the vengeance from the vengeance car from turning on. That they removed the ones who could stop it, and that was a slick move that happened. You know what I'm saying? Is that they was put on Egyptian religion from Jeroboam in 931 BC when he brung it out after Solomon's death. And then, this is a long way before the Syrians, we started getting into, fights with them. Is that, that when they, removed the tribe of Reuben, Gad, and Manasseh from being on Egyptian religion and not having the power that they would normally have, is that caused us to fight and be fighting against each other. If you remove the, the referee or the person that can stop the conflict and make us play by the rules, then man, we wide open for destruction. And then that's what our enemies did to us. They was real slick. So, you see that, the Syrians got it eventually too, but because they start trying to take credit, man, for what they did. Look, this is Isaiah 10:13. For he had said, by the strength of my hand I have done it, and by my wisdom, for I am prudent, and I have removed the bounds of the people, and have robbed their treasures, and I have put down the inhabitants like a valiant man. So that's what Assyria started bragging about what Almighty Yah did. We basically had to get off the land when you boil it all down to it, and it just went in stages and so forth. And we was eventually kicked out. One day I'm gonna break the different stages that it took to get us up off the land, and how that basically from us robbing and killing each other, and then that's gonna start that little spark that'll start it, because we not just a naturally violent people towards each other. There got to be something to kick it off, and it could be that accidental death. And then, with nowhere to run, that was through hatred towards each other. That was through hatred towards each other. Man, I just wanted to share that little information. It's like I'm going to show another video. We try to say what's righteous and what we think is righteous, and I can show it outlined in Tanakh what Almighty Yah accepted as righteous. Not robbing, not killing, no stealing, no sleeping with nobody else women, and the list goes on. But if you can do all those things that he named, then you would be righteous, giving clothes to the homeless, helping a widow, and helping the elderly, and a whole bunch of things that if you did, then you could be considered a righteous person. All right, Israelites, I just want to share that removing the Assyrians, removing the safeguard to keep the violence down, to the accidental death. Somebody died accidentally, and then they get to them cities, and then they were safe there until it gets sorted out, and then the other people couldn't come and start no food, because they already understood that where you was with Reuben, Gad, and Manasseh. Those are the fighting tribes. But then if the Assyrians and Egyptians tricked us out of their heritage, and then they get snatched away, then there's nowhere to run, and then how the food to be going. You know what I'm saying? It'll get going. All right, Israelites, much love to the Israelite community.